to tear down the strongholds of the enemy. Amen?
Amen.
All right, so how many of you have gone through some very hard things in your life? Raise your hand. Look around the room. That's pretty much everybody, right? We all go through difficult times. But it's so important the way that we view things and what we do with those difficulties. Because many people lose their faith. They get mad at God. Or they come to church still. But they just have no hope anymore. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like you've been in that place. Yeah. So I want to read to us from Philippians 1, verse 9. All right. I pray, this is the Apostle Paul. I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in your knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Jesus Christ. For this will bring much glory and praise to God. How many of you want to bring glory and praise to God with your life? Yeah, even your suffering can bring glory and praise to God. So John 16:33, Jesus said, I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, so one of the things that happens when we go through a trial, we can look at it just from an earthly perspective. We can begin to feel like God is not good. Like God doesn't care. That He doesn't answer our prayers. How many of you have ever felt like that? Be honest. Put your hand up and just show that way. Right? I felt like that. I want to talk a little bit about what I went through in my childbearing years. So my first baby, and I'll just say this, I went to Elam Bible Institute. I went to Elam Bible Institute. I was very on fire for Jesus. I met my husband at Bible college. He was also on fire for Jesus. We were both committed to going into ministry. We were very in love with each other. And it felt like everything in our life was blessed. And so when we got pregnant, I never expect anything bad to happen.
saasuubira kali konna nakatono okuntuukako
And I began the pregnancy as normal.
era ne ntandika okuzitowa bulijjo nga bwe kisuubirwa
I went into the pregnancy at least 5 months.
n'epitamu emyezi 5
And it was difficult. I was throwing up a lot. I was very nauseous.
era kyali kizibu nga nti nnyo nga nsesema bituge
That can be normal for a lot of women.
naye ebyo byonna byebikwa ku bakyala nga bali mu mbeera
So I
ezo
tried to encourage myself.
kati nezzaamu amaanyi
It's okay.
tekirina
I'm going to
mutawaana
get through this.
bino byonna mbitamu
But as the months went on,
naye olutwe bw'ayongerwa
I was making a project for the baby.
nali nina projekiti nali nkoleramu
I was stitching a little pillow for the door.
waliwo akambe nali nkola nga ku mulyango
And it said, baby is sleeping.
era akambe kano nga kaliko ebigambo bino nti omwana yeebase
It was supposed to be just you hang on the baby's door.
era akambe kano kakuteeka ku mulyango mwana
So when the baby is napping,
nti omwana bw'aba nga yeebase
somebody doesn't just bust into the room and wake the
omusajja
baby up.
musina aba ategeera nti mulimu mwana yeebase
Just a fun little thing to decorate.
kantu katono nnyo kalungi akaliko bulungi
And while I was sewing this pillow,
kati mba nga ntunga akantu ako
I kept hearing this voice in my head
ne mpulya eddoboozi mu mutwe gwange
saying, yes, the baby is sleeping.
nga liga nti mazima omwana yeebase
It's like sleep in the Bible.
ntikinganga okwebaka
The
okwombayibuli
baby is dead.
nti omwana mufu
I was like, no, I reject this.
ne nga nedda
The
kiranga
devil.
ono setaani
Get away from me.
vaako genda
And I tried to push those thoughts away.
nengezaako ebirowoozo ebyo okubisindika eri
I had one time when I was praying,
lumu bwe nali nsaba
I saw this picture of when I would go for the ultrasound.
ne ndaba ekifaananyi bwe mbaga ngenze mu kativi
And I saw the doctor going over my stomach.
nga ndaba omusawo yeetoolooza olubuto lwange
And the doctor shaking his head like
kati
this,
omusawo nga nyenya omutwe
saying, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat.
ngaga nti nsaaliddwa temulimu
And I
mwana
called my daddy.
olwo ne nkola mwagala wange
Dad, pray for me.
ne mugamba nsabira
The devil is tormenting me with fear.
kubanga setaani ali kunyigiza kuleeta
And I
okukyamuzi
told him about the picture that I saw
ne mbategeeza ekifaananyi kye
and the
naba
thoughts that were coming to me.
n'ebirowoozo ebyabiyinja mu nze
And we prayed together,
ne tusabira awamu
but it just wouldn't lift.
naye nekibanga tekinvaako
So that night I stayed up late
ekiro ekyo ne nsigala nga ntula okutuusa ekiro mu ttumbi
praying and worshiping to get rid of that fear.
nga nsaba n'okusinza kigerera okutyoka okwo nakuve
It was
kukugende
only 2 days until my ultrasound.
naye nakubbiriza okasinagenda mu kativi
And the closer that it got,
era apepa
the closer I got to the test,
era nga sinagenda kukola tesiti eyo
the more I felt that fear.
okutya ne kweyongerayongera bye nasembaga okusabira olunaku luli
So I just thought I have to pray and press in and worship until this fear goes.
naye nteekeddwa okusaba n'okusinza n'okusinza okutuusa okutya kuno nga kunvuddeko kugenze
So I saw this vision from the Lord,
nefuna okukolesebwa kuno okuva eri mukama
of the Lord hand reach down,
omukono gwa mukama nga gukka
and
wansi
his hand was very, very big.
ate nga omukono gwe munene munene munene
And the baby's hand was reaching up,
era nga n'omukono gw'omwana nagwo nga guyimuka bwe
and the baby's hand was tiny, tiny.
nga butininyo 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 akano katininyo
And the baby's hand touched God's finger,
era akagalo kana ako nga ne kagwa mu kakalo ka katonda
and all this light went out.
era kino ne kivaawo
And when the light hit me,
era bwe kyankuba
I was filled with peace.
nefuna emirembe
And God is with my baby.
ne nga nti mukama ali wamu n'omwana
And
wange
so I was able to sleep.
nenyinza okwebaka
Well, 2 days later,
ennaku bbiri nga ziseewo
I had the ultrasound.
ne ngenda ku kativi ako
Because it was the first grandchild for both sides of the family,
kubanga eri abazadde baffe ono yali omuzzukulu asooka
we had invited my parents and my husband's parents.
twaga tumaze okwaniriza abazadde baffe abazadde abange n'abazadde ab'omwana wange nga twaniza
Everyone was so excited about this grandbaby.
buli omu yali musanyufu nnyo nga awuliriza nyir'amaanyi olw'omuzzukulu
And we
ajja
were all together in the room,
ffenna twali wamu mu kisenge
and the doctor was going over my belly.
kati omusawo asa ekyuma ekyo kubanga alaba ebibuto lwange
And after a while, he was quiet,
akaseera n'asirikira
and he said, I'm so sorry.
n'agamba nsaali
There's no heartbeat.
kubanga omwana kiramu
And my dad looked at me,
tange n'antunuulira
because he knew that's what I was seeing before this day.
ne mugamba nti bino nno bye nalaba bye nalinda bikululi
And they asked my parents to leave and my husband's parents.
olwo ne basaba abazadde bange n'ab'omwami baveewo
And they talked to my husband and I,
ne boogana n'omwami wange nange
and they said, we can see that this baby is starting to decay.
ne bagamba nti kakano tulaba omwana ono atandise kufunda
You need to have this baby out of you right away,
omwana ono tulina okumujja mu lubuto mubadde
or you could become sick and die.
bwe tutakola ekyo oyinza okufa obulamu bwo
So we went home at night and we prayed.
ne tuteeka ekize kye tusaba
I didn't know what to do.
olwo nga sinanyiriza
And we begged God to resurrect the baby.